There we go. Hi, my name is Chris, and I'm going to share some interesting information about online dating and the things that I've gone through in the past few months. I'm in Canada, and I've been going on Tinder for probably 4 months, maybe 5. And, I signed up for the Tinder Plus, which admittedly was a mistake because I quickly realized that I actually needed Tinder Gold to see who was actually liking me on that app. And then I realized I made a fatal mistake where I had bought 6 months of Tinder Plus and had actually paid for 6 months of Tinder Gold. Doing the math, I think I blew about $300. Not really caring about the money, actually. It's more about the time. And the amount of scammers that you can find on these dating sites is just unbelievably large. You'd be amazed at how many people actually will reach out to you with these unbelievable profiles. And the first thing you should always ask yourself is, would this person really talk to you in real life? Most likely the answer is either no or maybe. And the other thing is, it's a really crushing platform because you're really going through the numbers. It's a lot of number games. You're really slogging through a lot of dead wood, a lot of stale profiles, a lot of scammers. I think I had caught at least 10 scammers in the first week. And some of the things that they do are simple things like, hey, I need to verify and make sure we're safe. Can we go to this sketchy website? Don't worry. Put your credit card in. It'll be okay. Yeah, I'm not that stupid. I'm sorry. And I don't have the patience for that bullshit. So these are very easy things to report. The more I got into the Tinders, the more I could see the nuances of the platform and how it played with your mind. First thing you need to be aware is the platform is designed to be extremely addictive. In that, it provides a feedback loop of positivity. So when you're getting all these likes coming in, for example, because I had Tinder Gold, I could easily go to other locations in the world. So I would jet off to Moscow or some other country in Europe, and you would get all these fantastic likes from all these people. And then you realize that there's a global pandemic going on. There's not really going to be a fucking chance in hell you're going to meet these people. So after a few discussions with a few of these ladies, and some of them are fairly nice, but I'll be honest, there were some that were just plain out asking for money. And I'm not into that. I don't have any time for that bullshit. Those accounts generally I report and block. And I found that even when you're in the local area, there really wasn't that much great selection because you would see the same people pop up over and over again. I don't think I even had one date on this site. And, to be honest, I wasn't really aggressively going for it. Having been widowed since September 2019, it was pretty tough to actually get out there and go back onto the scene because, last time I was on a dating scene, we didn't have these fucking apps. There was nothing like picking up your phone and, texting people. It was just something you never really thought about. And it's a skill that not everybody can actually manage to get perfected. And communication is really important when you're on online dating. And presentation is very important when you're talking to people. Having the correct pictures and a timeline and a description of what you're really looking for helps you get matches. But I have to admit that after about 5 months of slogging through that, I just pulled the trigger. I had a month and a half left on my goal and I said, fuck it, I'm done. Finished. Deleted the app, my account, it's gone. And then I made the mistake of signing up to Plenty of Fish. Let me tell you about this site. When you first get onto it, there's a lot of people that are on there. But you quickly discover that the quality of the people that are on this site will scare the living Jesus out of you. And I mean people that haven't really worked out since high school, fat, obese, ugly people with missing teeth, people with drug addiction, meth problems, crazy ex-boyfriends, psychotics, or just people that are just terrible. There are a few nice people on the site, though, and they're very difficult to find because the way that POF works in their infinite wisdom is they don't really let you choose your actual distance. Now, when I use the site, the minimum distance that I can pick is 75 fucking kilometers. I don't want to have to drive to Edmonton to go see somebody or Airdrie, whatever the fuck. I want to do a local date that's quick, easy, and fast. Get to know the person, see if there's any kind of chemistry going on. If not, we out, we bounce, have a good life. That's the way I roll. I'm pretty easygoing. The thing about Plenty of Fish is even if you sign up, and don't do this, sign up to the 6-month extended feature like I did, $60 out the window, you're not going to really see a lot of benefit out of this money. Because to be honest, these dating sites are really just geared to make money, period. They don't really want to match you with people. They're just interested in their business model, which is essentially funding a continual funnel of people coming in and out of their financial model. And if you look at Match.com, it's a pretty shitty company. Fuck you, Marcus. Quite personally, I have no faith in POF, but I'm going to keep giving it a bit of a shot here. It's an ambulance. And, I might sound a little bitter, but you know what? I have some hope on meeting someone decent, and I've had a few conversations which really haven't gone anywhere, but, I expect that. It's a global pandemic. People are kind of wary. I know women are inundated with messages from men, like dick pics, people sending vulgar messages, men commenting that, hey, you've been on this app for so long, you can read it in their profile how pissed off some of the women are. So I could really empathize with women on dating apps. I mean, they have some of the worst people coming after them. It's just terrible. And that's the unfortunate thing about these dating apps is this is no filter. And the thing that really fucking drives me insane about POF is you can't date younger than 10 years. So not that I want to date an 18-year-old, whoopee-doo. I'm 51. I don't want to fucking date an 18-year-old. I'm in shape. I'm physically active. I work out 6 days a week. But I have nothing mentally in common with someone that age. And the thing is that if I wanted to date somebody that was 36, you can't do it. You're physically locked out of that age range, which I think is a complete pile of bullshit. Which is why I think I'll likely be abandoning the site fairly soon because it's really not for me. And the other thing that I've noticed is the filtering is really useless. So when you're on the site and you're going through Plenty of Fish and you're grinding away and then you're setting, I mean, it's just horrible. I mean, some of the people on here, I would not even look twice on the city street, and yet they're coming up in my profile. Imagine surfing this on your 3rd day of joining onto the site, and you run out of matches. How can that be? You're in a city of 1.4 million people. There should be more people. I think the site is actually hiding people from your profile and somehow limiting. To be quite honest, I was actually left swiping on about 99% of the people that came up because they were actually disgusting beasts of people that are probably really nice, but physically I had no physical attraction to them at all. And that's a huge, huge thing for me. So I don't really see the niceties of this app. And perhaps I'm a little jaded and I'm not going to actually keep that attitude because, I have a hopeful attitude. And I realize that all these dating apps are the same. They're just looking at money, revenue. How can they make more money for their customers year over year? What other useless features can they add in, like Tinder Platinum, which is a total pile of crap? When I was using Tinder and I was a Gold member and a Tinder Plus member, I would get continually nagged by the app to upgrade to platinum. And you know what the fuck do I need with that? Well, from that company's point of view, is they're just trying to sell you a higher level of subscription, which will really get you nowhere. I mean, do you really need to send a message instantly to somebody that will likely reject? You know, just like them. See if they like you back. On Plenty of Fish, you can like them and send a message. If they don't get back to you, that's perfectly fine. No worries. With Tinder, they're kind of really aggressive on upping their platform and trying to sell these useless features that you don't really need. And that was my mistake. So these are kind of lessons for me, and I hope this information could help other people when you're on this online dating site. You know, it's pretty tough to meet somebody online, and it really does weigh on your self-worth sometimes. But do know that there are nice people out there. It does take a lot of time. And, you know, I used to work with a gentleman a long time ago, and he was not that good looking. But he would always come in and brag about the women that he would meet, you know, after the weekend. And I would say, hey, look, Craig, what are you doing? He's like, it's just a numbers game. I would ask 20 women out, and then maybe one out of the 20 would say yes, and then we would go from there. And, you know, in a way that is actually correct. The problem that I'm having with Plenty of Fish is there's not enough matches coming up. I can go through 300 people. I should be able to go through 20,000 people. You know, why should I be restricted to how many people I can actually go through on any given day? So I think it's artificially limiting how many people I can actually swipe on, and it's discouraging. And I don't really like that. The business model is kind of scummy and sketchy. I really have nothing good to say about the platform except that it's actually educated me on how to chat with people, total strangers, professionally and kindly, because I never really was mean to anybody. So I was always nice, cordial. I'll always continue to be. But one thing to be aware is don't spend a lot of time on these dating apps. I was reading online that probably the best amount of time that you could do is 20 minutes every 3 days. You know what? That's actually a good set of advice. I don't really see a benefit of logging in every day unless you have a conversation going on with somebody. And even then, do you really need to? You should really be pushing to meet in person just to quickly have a coffee or a drink or whatever, and just see if you have any kind of chemistry or any kind of kindling going on between you. And if there isn't, then you can move on. But I find that it's even difficult to do that in this time of age. And it could be due to the pandemic. It could be due to people wanting to stay at home. I don't know. But there's a lot of other dating apps. I don't expect there to be much differences between Bumble, Hinge, Plenty of Fish, Tinder, you know, Coffee Meets Bagel, whatever the fuck you pick. It's really just a patience game. You have to work on yourself. You have to make sure you have friends, hobbies, things that keep you busy. You have to actually keep your self-worth up, which can be difficult in these times. You know, workouts, keep yourself in shape. It's not easy. You know, I'm fucking 51 years old and I still work out 6 days a week. I don't have to, but I want to because I want to feel good about myself. I dress well. I'm a professional. I have professional relationships and I want to, you know, feel good. So in all of this long-winded message, I'm probably going to say a few things. Is one, if you do sign up for a dating app, keep your expectations very low. Don't expect any kind of fantasyland fairy tale. Two, I wouldn't really even recommend spending any money on any kind of dating app, especially those scummy apps that actually encourage you to buy roses or use tokens like Plenty of Fish to elevate your profile. Burn in hell, Marcus. And yeah, so I would just suggest take it slow, take it easy, work on yourself, build that self-confidence. There's a lot of things that you can actually learn from these apps. I found it quite interesting that the first day I signed up, I had scammers immediately messaging me, trying to get me to these shady websites, and you know, I can't be bothered. So I just report these accounts and then unmatch. But with POF, it's kind of more complicated because I can only block them. I can't really unmatch, so I just delete the message chain. But The majority of people that will use these apps will be frustrated, they will be disappointed, and they will actually start thinking, what self-worth do I have if I can't attract someone's attention? Don't even think that for a second, because there's a lot of people that will actually value you and care for you and really look at you as a special person. It's just that not that perfect moment in time for you. So my advice is to be patient, be careful, and never give out your personal information. I've had someone actually text me trying to get me to sign up to some verification place, which is an obvious scam. There's also catfishers and people that, pretend to be, 30 years old or 40 years old, but they look 60 when you meet them. I really have no patience for that, and I'd probably walk out on the date as soon as I saw that happening. But you read about this stuff all the time online, and it's just human behavior, I suppose. More insidious, there are people that actually actively steal profile pictures. People in the military are high valued targets, so if you work in the US or Canadian military, you better protect your profile, because scammers are going to come after you, take your photos, and they're going to use you to lure other victims into their scam. Usually it's romance scams where they really love bomb you, and then they say, oh, I want to visit you, but I need some money for this emergency, but they're like totally full of bullshit. And it's just how scummy people are these days. So there's not a lot of hope on online dating in 2021, but there is a bright ray of light if you actually focus on yourself and try to keep a positive mental picture, because really the only thing that you can do is just keep trying. There's no secrets. I mean, you can pay someone to take professional photographs of you in groups with people and friends and activities and fucking skydiving or whatever the fuck you're going to do. That's great. But it still boils down to interpersonal communication and chemistry. And sometimes it's just luck. A lot of these women are getting 50, 60, 100 messages from men a day. Who the hell can keep up with that? I couldn't. I would probably delete the app if I had all that crap going on. I mean, how do you even manage? But anyway, anybody watching this, I really hope you have a good time with online dating, but please be aware that there's a lot of scammers out there, and don't be fooled, because they are willing and able to take advantage of your weakness in a moment's notice. Good luck.